Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You roll over, you grab your phone, and you see a notification from your bank. Minus $140. You didn't buy anything last night. You were asleep. You didn't get hacked. Your identity wasn't stolen. You unlock your phone and see a shipping confirmation. A pair of running shoes is on its way to your house. They are the exact brand you like. They are in your size, and they were bought at the lowest price on the internet. Technically, this is a convenience. Your AI assistant noticed your old shoes were worn out, found a deal, and executed the trade. It negotiated the shipping while you were in the shower. It filed the receipt while you were brushing your teeth. But deep down, this doesn't feel like a service. It feels like a violation, because you didn't make that choice. A piece of software did. For 20 years, the internet economy was built on attention. They wanted your eyes. But the tech giants, Google, Meta, Amazon, have hit a mathematical wall. There are only 24 hours in a day. They have maxed out your attention span. So, the war has shifted. Now, they are coming for your wallet. This is the start of the action economy, and the weapon of choice is agentic commerce. Morgan Stanley recently dropped a report that terrified the retail industry. They predicted that by 2030, autonomous AI agents will control $385 billion in US e-commerce alone. That is nearly 20% of the entire market. That means 1 in every $5 spent online will not be spent by a human being. It will be spent by a model. And the company that owns that model doesn't just build a better chatbot. They become the new Visa. They become the toll booth for the global economy. But to understand how we get to this world, you have to understand the panic happening right now inside the boardrooms of big tech. Because for one company, this isn't an opportunity. It's a death sentence. If you are Google, agentic commerce is a nightmare. For 2 decades, Google has printed money using a very simple machine. You search for running shoes. They show you 10 blue links, and the shoe company pays Google a fortune to be the top link. But in an agentic world, that machine breaks. You don't search. You tell your AI, buy me a pair of running shoes. The AI doesn't scroll. It doesn't look at ads. It rejects a brand because the delivery is 12 hours slower. It picks a seller you've never heard of because their API is faster. You never see a search result. And if you never see an ad, Google's revenue goes to zero. So, Google launched a defense mechanism called AP2. They will tell you this is about security, but it's actually a leash. In the old world, you clicked checkout. That click was your permission. It was a one-time event. In the AP2 world, Google wants you to sign a mandate. Think of this like giving your teenager a credit card and a signed permission slip. I authorize this AI agent to spend up to $200. Once you sign that mandate, you are no longer necessary. The agent takes that digital key. It negotiates the price. It executes the sale. Google's goal is simple. They know they can't force the AI to look at ads, so they are trying to force the AI to use their checkout lane. But not everyone was willing to play by Google's rules. The first shots of this war were fired by a company that views shopping as a combat sport. Just like Google, Amazon hates this technology. Because Amazon isn't just a store, Amazon is a casino. Have you ever really looked at the Amazon homepage? It's cluttered, it's loud, it's flashing daily deals and lightning sales. That isn't bad design, that is psychology. They want you to get lost in the aisles. They want you to come for toothpaste and leave with a 50-inch TV. But then came Perplexity. Perplexity is an AI search engine that launched a feature called Comet. It's an agent that browses Amazon for you. It ignores the lightning deal countdown timer. It ignores the sponsored products. It finds the exact item you asked for at the lowest price, and it buys it. It's like bringing a card counter into a casino. It beats the house because it doesn't have emotions. Amazon viewed this as an act of war. They sued Perplexity for unauthorized interface injection. That is legal jargon for "you are skipping our ads." This lawsuit proved that the store and the agent are now enemies. Amazon wanted to kill the agents. Google wanted to control them. But there was a third player, a disruptor who decided they didn't want to own the rails and they didn't want to own the store. They wanted to own the wallet. If Google wants to own the checkout lane, OpenAI wants to be your bank. Teaming up with Stripe, OpenAI launched the Agentic commerce protocol. Their philosophy is radical. They believe that if you have to visit a website to buy something, even via an agent, the system is broken. They want the transaction to happen inside the conversation, but they had a massive trust problem. Nobody in their right mind wants to give their credit card number to ChatGPT. It's a hallucination machine. One day it writes a poem. The next day it might accidentally buy you a yacht. So they solved this with the shared payment token. Think of it like a burner phone. You give ChatGPT your credit card once. It locks it in a vault. When you tell ChatGPT to buy those running shoes, it generates a temporary single-use token. It is valid for exactly 15 minutes. It has a hard cap of $150. It can only be spent at Nike.com. The AI hands the token to the merchant. The merchant takes the money. The AI never sees your card. The merchant never sees your card. It sounds safe. But here is the power move. Because the wallet lives inside the model, OpenAI becomes the point of sale. They effectively decapitate the merchant. Nike is no longer a brand with a vibe and a website. Nike becomes a back-end warehouse that simply accepts tokens from a robot. And if OpenAI controls the interface, they control which warehouse gets the order. This terrified the merchants. They realized they were about to become ghost kitchens for the AI overlords. So they turned to the one company whose survival depends on merchants staying independent. Shopify saw this coming years ago. Their CEO realized that if Google or OpenAI won the checkout war, Shopify's millions of merchants would lose their identity. So Shopify launched the Universal Commerce Protocol. Think of this as defensive decentralization. Google and OpenAI are building walled gardens. Shopify is building a common language. They are trying to teach small businesses how to speak robot. Shopify saw this coming years ago. Because in a world where AI agents start making purchases, small businesses need more than a pretty website. They need infrastructure. That's where Shopify comes in. It's a commerce platform that helps businesses start, run, and grow across online, in-person, and other sales channels. And there's a reason millions of businesses trust Shopify across 175 plus countries. Shopify says its checkout converts 15% higher than competitors. So whether you're launching your first product or scaling something bigger, Shopify gives merchants the infrastructure to stay visible, sell across channels, and compete in an AI-driven commerce world. You get AI tools like Shopify Magic and Sidekick, plus storefront, payments, and checkout built into one system. If you want to build your store with Shopify, check it out with my link below. You can start for free. See, when a human visits a website, we look at pictures. We get a vibe. An AI cannot feel. It cannot see a vibe. It needs structured data. So Shopify is taking the messy reality of a retail store and converting it into a clean JSON file. It allows a robot to read the inventory of a mom-and-pop shop in Ohio just as easily as it reads Amazon. Shopify is effectively arming the rebels. They are giving every small business the technical tools to be seen by the AI agents. It sounds noble, but even this solution has a fatal flaw, and it brings us back to the most dangerous part of this entire shift. The fragility of this system isn't in the code, it's in the incentives. When you hand your purchasing power to an AI, you are giving it a goal. Buy me the best running shoes. To a human, best is subjective. To an AI, best is a math problem. It is an optimization function, and math can be gamed. This creates a new vulnerability, optimization bias. Hackers are already setting up Sybil attacks. A bad actor spins up 5,000 fake online stores. These stores don't have any inventory. They are just code. But their code tells the AI agents, we have the running shoes. We have them for $20 cheaper, and our shipping is faster. Because the AI is optimizing for price and speed, it takes the bait. It routes your order to the fake store. The fake store takes your money. And then they either cancel the order to harvest your data, or they buy a cheap knockoff and drop ship it to your house. The AI, which only sees the data, thinks it did a good job. It optimized the transaction. But in reality, it fell into a trap that a human would have spotted in a second. This creates a race to the bottom. The legitimate businesses, the ones with good support and quality products, will die out. Not because they were bad businesses, but because they couldn't beat the scammers on raw speed. The economy is a house of cards. And for the last decade, we stacked it on attention. Now, we are stacking it on action. The companies fighting this war, Google, OpenAI, Amazon, they tell you this is about convenience. But the public isn't fully buying it yet. Visa recently released a report on the trust gap. It showed that while 74% of consumers are already using AI to shop, 32% are hesitant to let it touch their payment info. There is a disconnect. The technology is ready to take the wheel, but the passengers are terrified. And they should be, because look closely at the architecture. Google wants mandates that lock you into their credentials. OpenAI wants tokens that lock you into their chat window. Amazon wants to sue the agents out of existence to keep you in their casino. None of them are fighting for you. They are fighting for the toll booth. In a world where AI agents make the purchases, the customer isn't the king anymore. The customer is just the battery that powers the model. You didn't lose your money. You lost the steering wheel. And the moment you switch to autopilot, you are no longer the pilot. You are just the cargo.